They know your boy in 2 months. He's not playing. That is like, I think that's number 1 on his list. If not, it's in the top 5. And they know it. And I know it. And you know it. Thank God I was born in New York City. Okay? And I was born to a famous singer. That's my daddy. Okay? And one day I'll tell you who that is. I'll do a video about that. But thank God I was born in New York, in Harlem. Thank you. Thank God. Because if I was